Former President Donald Trump is facing the possibility of another criminal indictment after receiving a target letter from the Department of Justice. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson joins us live from Washington, D.C. to explain more. Good morning, Lucas.
Good morning, Dina. And for those keeping score at home in Detroit, this is possibly the third indictment coming the former president's way. Now, this letter that you just mentioned, Dina, is connected to the Justice Department's investigation into alleged efforts the former president sought to overturn the 2020 election. And it's indication more charges could be forthcoming. But last night on the campaign trail, the former president was still defiant.
Thank you very much. This is a nice place.
Former President Donald Trump greeted by a crowd of supporters in Iowa just hours after announcing he's the target of another federal grand jury investigation into his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
If you say something about an election, they want to put you in jail for the rest of your life. It's a disgrace.
In a post on his Truth Social platform, Trump says the letter was delivered Sunday night, and he has 4 days to report to the grand jury here in the nation's capital, while also alluding to the possibility of being indicted for a third time.
I got the letter on Sunday night. Think of it. I don't think they've ever sent a letter on Sunday night. And they're in a rush because they want to interfere. It's interference with the election. It's election interference.
The months-long investigation led by special counsel Jack Smith has cast a wide net, interviewing dozens of key witnesses and Trump associates, including former Vice President Mike Pence. It's unclear at this point what charges Trump could potentially face or how much longer the investigation will last. But legal experts say if Smith ultimately files more charges against Trump, he'll need to show some very compelling evidence.
The question is, does Smith have something that the January 6th committee didn't have? And he's going to need it. I mean, he's going to need something that persuades a skeptical public that this isn't just politics.
And Dina, if that name Jack Smith sounds familiar, of course, he previously charged the former president with mishandling classified material discovered at the former president's Mar-a-Lago estate last month. Dina?
So, Lucas, this being the third, potentially being the third indictment against the former president, can you differentiate this one? This one is more significant than the previous two, maybe?
Might be in the eye of the beholder. Not a legal scholar. Of course, that first one up in New York had to do with some payments to the porn star Stormy Daniels. The last one, Jack Smith, that he brought charges against the president, was, remember those boxes, those crates of classified material? Some of them had to do with sensitive national security secrets, war plans for, destroying the country of Iran, for instance. And then now this time, we don't know. Much like last month, it's actually the former president, it was Donald Trump, that has tipped off the world, kind of broke the news that this letter was coming. This didn't come from the Justice Department. It came from Trump himself on his Truth Social. So we haven't seen what the charge sheet looks like yet, or an indictment. When that comes out, everybody will be diving into it. And when we go through that charge sheet and the indictment, I think then we can take stock of how it compares to the others. But certainly it's unprecedented in American history to have either a former president or a president be indicted, and now he could be indicted a third time.
All right, so interesting. Lucas Tomlinson, thank you so much. Live from Washington this morning.